Hey guys, just wanted to make a quick video just to thank some people. Over the last week or so we've had a bit of a turning point for some people where they decided that they didn't want us to make videos on some topics. They preferred that we didn't make videos about some topics in Japan and just wanted us to make videos on other topics in Japan. So it sort of was a bit of a dividing point for some people to decide whether they wanted us to make videos covering all topics that we see or just ones that make them feel good or something. So to those of you, first of all, the people who've been on Patreon with us all the way along in that however many months it's been that we've been on Patreon, those guys that have supported us during that time and that have decided to continue to support us, we want to thank you guys very sincerely, because it's because of you guys that we've been able to continue making videos every day and spend the time that we do making videos every day. So really, really grateful to you guys. And then to the new people, there's been some new people that have stepped up when they heard that other people had pulled out. There's some other people that have stepped up over the last week or so, and we really appreciate it as well. So basically what it means is those of you who are supporting us on Patreon, we really appreciate the support in that it allows us to continue to make videos, but it also sends us a clear message that you guys who have stuck with us and you guys that have joined us recently are obviously telling us that you're happy for us to cover all topics, which we've always thought was important. And even though every time we cover a topic that's not popular, that people don't want to hear about, I mean, anything that makes people feel bad, they don't want to hear about, some people. And every time we do that, we lose subscribers, and recently we've been losing patrons on Patreon as well, because some people don't want us to cover topics about Japan that make them feel bad. So it's sort of understandable, you know. A lot of people have a very idealistic view of what Japan is like, and they imagine that it's sort of some sort of perfect place. And that's one of the main reasons that we think we have to make videos about all topics, because we think Japan's excellent. That's why we live here. You know, we could go live somewhere else, but we don't. We live in Japan because we think it's an excellent place. But there are all sorts of things here, and some that are easy to live with and are great to live with, and some that are difficult to live with. And we think it's important to cover all the topics so that people get the whole picture, because you don't want to turn up here. You know, a lot of people say, oh, I'm moving to Japan, and they've never been here before. And, you know, particularly those guys, we want them to get the whole picture before they move to Japan, because it's often a big shock. The reality is that most people that come here with the intention of staying long term don't. The majority of them go home early because it's too hard. So we just think, we don't decide whether something's good or bad, we just make a video about it and we show you guys. So the same as if you were sitting beside us in the car when we're travelling around the countryside and when we're going different places. We try and just pull out the camera and show you what we can see and what we hear. And occasionally we have to tell you, because there's some sort of story or some sort of cultural thing that we have to tell you about. But we try and make it as close to you guys seeing it and hearing it and experiencing it for yourself as is possible over YouTube, you know, over the internet. And then you guys can decide what you like and what you don't like, what you're comfortable with, and how you choose to react to it, you know. So there's that. So for you guys that are supporting us on Patreon, the first way that we're going to thank you is by continuing to do our best to show you everything and anything that we can find about Japan that we think sort of in the remotest bit interesting. Some of the stuff's not interesting to everybody, some of it's interesting to other people, we don't know. So we just show you everything, and we figure that you guys can pick and choose what you watch and what you enjoy and what you don't. It's up to you. We just put it out there, you know. We're just your eyes and ears in Japan, basically. That's our goal. So that's what first thing we're going to do for you guys is to continue to do that every day, because that's what you're supporting us for, isn't it? That's what you want from us. The second thing we're going to do this week, just one little thing. Of course, we're going to do our end of the month giveaways every month. We're going to keep doing that and keep trying to find interesting things to include in that end of the month giveaway thing. But just for this week, just because you made us feel all warm and fuzzy, and it was like, oh, these guys are great. So, and you really did. We've been really aware of this, and I often share the comments that you guys leave. I have to translate them into Japanese for the family, but I often tell them, you know, look what this person said. Look what this person said, and I tell them, you know, we had one guy the other day say, He'd been watching our videos since he was 15 or something, and now he's 24, and he's actually coming to Japan to work or something, and that watching our videos actually changed the path of his life, which is, that's more than we were trying to do. Just tried to show you some vending machines, but that sort of stuff really is really touching, and I tell the rest of the family, this is what this guy said, check this out, isn't that amazing? So again, it's not really us doing anything, it's really Japan, and that's why we've always tried to keep the topic of the videos on Japan, because it's Japan that's interesting, and it's not us that had any effect on that guy at all, it's what he saw about Japan and what he learnt about Japan that had the effect on him, really. And that's the other reason we try and keep it to all about Japan, and not become sort of a personality thing that you sometimes see on YouTube, which is fine as well. YouTube was built on that personality thing, but we just try and avoid it. So anyway, that's the first thing we're going to do, continue making videos and being your eyes and ears in Japan and showing you as much as we can. This week what we're going to do is, we've got these kind of flashcards that come from White Rabbit, and they've got hiragana and katakana, and they're really quite clever. They've got all the, obviously both alphabets, and they've got little clever ways on each one to help you remember each character, and also it's got a little note to show you how to write it, so you can practice writing each letter, and then it's got 5 words that include that letter in it. So by using these flashcards, you can teach yourself hiragana and katakana, and you're going to pick up a whole bunch, a few hundred words, 450 Japanese words, and learn to read and write at the same time. So it's pretty clever. It's a pretty clever little system, and you can do the flashcard thing, so you can sit there and practice and see how many you can remember and sort of test yourself out. So it is a pretty good system. These are pretty popular. So hiragana and katakana in the set. So these are pretty good. So obviously not everybody's into learning this, or maybe they already know it. So we didn't want to include it in the general giveaway for Patreon, because some people just wouldn't use them probably. They either already know all these, or they're not interested. Lots of people don't want to learn to read and write. So what we're going to do is, this video is going to be on Patreon as well. So all you have to do is just put under this video on Patreon in the comments, just put "me please" or something like that, and then we'll just go down that list and just randomly pick. We'll throw a dart at the computer monitor or something, and randomly get someone out of the list and send them this. So only put a message on there if you want them, okay? So "me please" or something like that, and we'll put them in the post and send them to somebody. Okay, so it's just a small thing that just because we can. The White Rabbit gave us these for free, so we figured we want to make sure that we give them to somebody who's helped or supported us. We're going to show a small token of appreciation by sending these to you. Other people who might be interested in these cards, because they are good, no doubt someone's going to ask, where do you get them? You can buy them online from White Rabbit, and there'll be a link underneath this video if you want to buy a set of these online. Okay, so again, you guys, thank you very much for your support. Really appreciate it, and we're going to do our best to continue making videos and showing you as much interesting stuff about Japan as we possibly can. More videos coming soon.